Good afternoon, everyone. I think I'm live now. Hi, everyone. My name is Jade, and I'm head of sales here at Thirst. If you've not necessarily seen this particular LinkedIn Live going around, this is actually what I presented at Learning Tech back last month. So if you have missed out, obviously, welcome. Hopefully, you'll learn something and take some value away from this presentation. I am just going to sort of, if you can give us a kind of a wave or a thumbs up, just to let you know that, well, let me know that you're here, and then we can start if that's okay. Anybody? Okay, well, I'm going to start anyway. Okay, so engage your learners like Taylor Swift. Like I say, I presented this at Learning Tech last month and had some really, really good feedback. I know you're probably thinking, what's this got to do with learning development? But I'm here to kind of show you and also talk to you around about the engagement piece, which is obviously a recurring topic around conversations that I've had with customers, demonstrations that I have, and also even just the event as well back last month. Engagement seems to be the recurring topic that comes up in conversation as a key piece that we seem to be missing, really. And there's a lot of correlation between engagement, Taylor Swift, and also L&D, and I'm here to kind of show you as well today. So moving on to the next slide, let's get started. So in terms of what I do want to enlighten you on today, and hopefully by the end of this, you're going to be sort of hardcore Taylor Swift fans or Swifties. I'm only joking, you're not necessarily. I'm not here to convert you to be a Swiftie, but I do want to obviously talk about how she engages audiences, how she builds a community, and also how in terms of the sort of L&D landscape, what we can sort of learn from that. I mean, love her or hate her, Taylor Swift is someone that everybody knows from sort of politics. As you can see on here, it's kind of, Taylor Swift is everywhere. She's just released her new album. She's also been named sort of Forbes first musician to be actually on the Forbes billionaire list. And yeah, without going to sort of political, I'm not going to go down that route really. But yeah, as you can see there, one of the main headlines was, she could beat Trump in an election. But like I say, I'm not here to talk about that. But yeah, in terms of she's not just praised for her musical talents, but also for strategic I can't say that today, business decisions, strong brand management, and also who has the ability really to engage an audience and also the masses as well. So moving on, let's see what we can sort of learn from that and what it's got to do with us. So why we're talking about Taylor Swift? Why we're talking about this when AI seems to be the key topic of conversation? Everyone seems to be discussing AI, etc. But the one key thing we seem to be missing the boat on is engagement. And believe it or not, I'm not necessarily a Taylor Swift fan myself. I do sort of know a few of the songs, but I'm not necessarily a fan myself. But one thing that I can sort of take away from this, and a few keywords that I'm going to touch upon today, is kind of evolving. Is something that Taylor Swift does, throughout her career, evolving, adapting to the ever-changing music landscape and entertainment landscape, building a community, like I say, engaging the masses. And building a narrative as well around that. And that's something that we can definitely learn from. And that's just scratching the surface, really. So these are the basics that in L&D we seem to be missing the mark on. And once done, you can definitely elevate your learner's experience. And the proof is here, and I'm here to sort of to show that to you, really. So in terms of the first thing I do want to say on my agenda is storytelling. So moving on to the next slide, is storytelling is something that's huge, especially from Taylor Swift. She knows how to tell a very good, compelling story, whether that's through her music video, her lyrics, or her live performances. And she used a combination of authentic narratives, which sharing her vulnerabilities and personal experiences to take her audience on that journey. And that just feels personal to them. So they can definitely relate to that. And it captivates them from start to finish as well. So the key sort of learnings from that we can take is, just moving on, is kind of, as L&D pros, what can we sort of learn from this? I'm not expecting you to go away and start creating music or music videos or anything like that. Don't worry. That's definitely not what I'm sort of saying with this, but just firstly incorporating storytelling into when you're creating content. So, for example, using real life experiences or even allowing learners to share their knowledge as well, which is something that is kind of, again, missed really, is allowing them to share their knowledge and having that in one place and their experiences as well. So helping learners resonate with their core values of the training as well. So that kind of helps them. Again, like Taylor Swift does with her songs, you need to make that resonate and make that memorable as well. So when they are taking away them core values, it is resonating with them. And framing that information as well into that genuine narrative. It enables the learners to apply this into their current situations, their current job role, and their day-to-day, everyday life. Using the varying content types. So like, again, I'm not expecting you to start creating music, but varying the content types, because, not everybody learns the same way. It's not one size fits all, but including maybe discussion boards so that it can sort of ignite thought-provoking questions and also collaborations as well between the team. So moving on to the next sort of learnings really is kind of the audience connection. And this is something that, Taylor Swift does very well. Her recent sort of Eras tour, even though it was kind of, to say it was massive is kind of an understatement, but what she did do is give out the light up bracelets to every single visitor to her tour. And that was kind of a way that on one of her songs that she wanted to be able to see every single person in the audience. And that kind of made each person feel connected. It made them feel connected to her as well. Again, I'm not expecting you to go create bracelets, but in terms of the community and building that sort of Swiftie mentality behind her, she understands her audience and what resonates with them and ultimately what makes them come back for more. Through these consistent connections that she does, whether that's through social media, whether it's kind of recognition and appreciation, she brings them all together through this sort of, through various different media, and gives them the appreciation and the recognition, which makes each of them feel valued as well. And like I say, an example of this is the sort of recent Eras tour. And like I say, it's just kind of making them feel a part of something bigger, and a part of something quite special as well, and kind of giving them that sort of moments of pleasure basically as well. So what can we learn from that? So in terms of reflecting it back to sort of the L&D, we're almost trying to mimic that feeling really, making sure that each learner feels valued and not just another number in your organisation. We also know, like I say, that one size just doesn't fit all when it comes to learning. What can work for one person might be absolutely horrendous for the next. And, with all good intentions, we do kind of tend to rinse and repeat the same sort of techniques. And it is very, very easy to kind of go down that route, especially, with how busy things are, etc. It is easy to kind of do the bulk upload or, rinse and repeat that content and hope for the best really. But however, creating that personalized learning journeys or, that personalized learning experience and mixing up that content, it kind of utilizes that interactive learning journey and elevates that engagement as well. It's also important to have the transparency as well within the platform so that learners can see success stories within the platform. So, for example, if they want to become a manager, it's great to have that transparency so they can see, okay, where did my manager come from? Right, okay, this is kind of the steps that they followed. Again, success stories, things that they can resonate with and inspire as well within the platform. So it's not just about upskilling your learners or reskilling. It's also about inspiring and motivating as well your sort of team and your learners as well on the platform. So again, what else can we sort of learn from that really? I mean, we do have versatility. So moving on to the next slide, we have the versatile element to Taylor Swift, which I mentioned earlier. She's great at adapting to the sort of much the musical sort of genre evolution, the entertainment landscape, which is ever changing. Again, it's exactly the same really from us in terms of being in the L&D industry. Everything's constantly changing. We're adapting. We're changing with technology. We're adapting with how people are learning, etc. And it's evolving with your learners. And, Taylor Swift definitely embraces creativity, innovation, not just through, music collaborations, working with other musicians, but also dipping her toe into fashion, real estate and business, which is the reason why she's kind of got to where she is. There's a reason why she's on the Forbes billionaire list. And, she's always looking at ways to improve, evolve in that landscape to make sure that she's relevant, making sure she's keeping up with, her fans and always creating fresh material as well. So again, what can we reflect that back to learning and development and your platform and engaging your learners? Well, we definitely need to take this on board, especially when creating content and looking at your L&D strategy as well. Like, what do your learners want? I mean, when was the last time you did a survey or spoke to your learners and find out, what it is that they want? What do they want from your learning platform or your when they're logging in to even learn or upskill? Well, first of all, we want to make sure that whatever you're putting out is relevant, it's quick to access, it's easy to use, it's informative and personal as well, and making sure that it's interactive. I mean, I can go on in terms of the various different types, but with our landscape changing, take the talks that we've had, even at Learning Tech with AI. I mean, that's developed crazy within the past sort of 12 months. It's been around, but it's definitely coming forward as well, especially this year. But it's always looking and kind of preempting that next step and being proactive when it comes to that, and finding out what the learners want. Like, yes, fair enough, AI might be the trend, but is that what your learners want? And also striving to innovate the methods, like incorporating interactive functionality, the different multimedia where they learn, kind of in the flow of work, and also just having that at the touch of a button. Everyone wants things quick, they want it easy, they want it relevant to them, and that's kind of something that you definitely need to reflect when it comes to learning development and upskilling. Adapt and evolve like Taylor Swift. So moving on to the visual appeal. Again, this is the last tip we're kind of taking from Taylor Swift, is the visual appeal. Surprise and delight your learners. It comes hand in hand with everything we've kind of discussed, and it's not just kind of wrapping it in a nice packet and making sure that it looks nice, but again, you do want that sort of missing out, the sort of FOMO of kind of jumping on that platform. If they don't jump on the platform, or if they don't jump onto any particular learnings, then they're definitely missing out on something special. Again, just taking the era's tour, the triggering that sort of FOMO with fans, and without repeating myself, this is also a genuine reason to sort of releasing the film. Not only was it a really good business decision, but it's kind of trying to sort of capture every person within that audience. So to ensure she's reaching out to fans, maybe maybe people that haven't been able to go to a show, and advertising that so that it is something that you're missing out on, and obviously it pushes the sales for the tickets as well for the show. It's completely skyrockets that. And it's also a surprise and delight as well. So it just making, again, moving back to my previous point, it's not necessarily on this, but making each of them feel valued and that they can go on the journey and they can experience that with this amazing opportunity as well on the tour. But yeah, it's always a good business decision as well. So moving on to what we can learn from sort of visual appeal, not only just compelling visuals, but translating that back, just having a great, easy to use interface. There's nothing worse than jumping on something, trying to get there. And if you're constantly getting blockers, then, you tend to give up sooner or later. So it's eliminating them blockers, especially when it comes to tech as well. They don't want to sift through content. They don't want to sift through things that's not relevant to them. They don't want things popping up that's irrelevant. They want to make sure that it's simple, it's easy to use. You've got great learning campaigns there. You've got the moments of delight, so making sure that it's fresh. What they are seeing is fresh, it's relevant to them. Keeping them, like I said, keeping them moments of delight simple, and just keep going back to the platform as well. So making sure that you're having that consistent branding, making it sure it's uniform, it's looking clean, branded, and it kind of builds that emotional sort of connections as well, stimulate interest and enhance retention as well. But moving on to the next kind of summarizing this, it kind of says, the old way is out. The rinse and repeat, the kind of bulk uploading content, and that's kind of classroom training, micromanaging long modules, the one size fits all. It's all completely out, and it's all about kind of investing in that sort of innovation roadmap, really, of the next generation of learning development. It's all about personalized learning. So summarizing that, personalized learning in the flow of work, easy to access, on demand, empowering them learners to share knowledge, and also with genuine narrative behind that and authentic content. So actually putting yourself in the learner's position. What do they want to see? They don't want it generic. They want it personalized to them, that they can actually put into practice on their next working day as well. So in summary, moving on to the next slide, and the next one. So I didn't click that one. So yeah, the key sort of takeaways really, without sort of repeating myself too much, is that we can become more effective and engaging in the way we do things. We need to understand them learners' needs. Like I said, put ourselves in the learner's position, telling them compelling stories, embracing the creativity and innovation, fostering community as well, cultivate authenticity and embrace change. Making sure that you're creating personalized learning journeys as well, and making sure that you're making each person within your organization feel valued when they're jumping on that learning. They feel like that is there for them. And it builds that lasting impression and also that value as well. And ultimately, your key is to build excitement around reskill, upskill, etc. That is something that is kind of left out, I suppose, of L&D. So yeah, that is definitely the key takeaways that we can get from Taylor Swift, and ultimately create your own sort of army of Swifties as well. And without being too cheesy, so don't exile your learners and leave them with a blank space when launching all your new learning strategies this year. We all know too well the old LMS is out of style. I can't do this, seriously, I'm sorry. Take these gorgeous tips on board and you can create a love story between learners and platform. Create engagement you'd only dream of in your wildest dreams. And you need to calm down, surprise, and wow your learners. But if this doesn't work, just obviously don't blame it on me. Maybe create a music video, I don't know. But yeah, in terms of just kind of wrapping up, if you have got any questions, feel free to pop them in the comments below. Thank you so much for your time. This is clearly like an older presentation, so don't come and say hi to us at stand K22 because we won't be there. But if you have got any questions, I will hang fire for a couple of minutes if you have got any questions around this. But please do feel free to follow us on LinkedIn, on Thirst. And if you have any questions direct, feel free to message me. And also, we do have a really good ebook as well at the minute. So our blog ebook currently is all around learner engagement. Again, like I say, it's a recurring topic. So there's quite a lot of tips on there as well. Not necessarily too much about Taylor Swift, but can't have it all. So any questions? No? Okay. Well, thank you so much for listening, everyone. Have a great Wednesday. Hopefully the weather picks up, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Thank you.